Hello Supercoaches and welcome to the SuperCoach NRL Round 13 preview podcast. I'm Dave Campbell, filling in for an AWOL Tom Sangster. Joining me today we've got Joe Naddaf and the birthday boy, Rob Sutherland.
It's not my birthday yet, David, but hello and hello Joe, how are you boys?
Mate, never better. I was just saying to the boys, I've trumped all your mates here at Telegraph. I actually went to your birthday party in Vegas.
This is true.
Hey,
we had a great time. I can't remember any of it, but boy, we had a good time.
And well, I'm sure you can't talk about it. It's certainly not on what I assume is a G-rated podcast.
Usually not when I'm on.
Well,
certainly not when we get to the Rant, and I've got one today, so this will be fun.
Oh, good. Well, we're looking forward to an iconic Rob Sutherland rant. How'd you go this week, boys?
I struggled this week. I was facing, I lost a lot of injury, had a lot of injuries in the lead up, so I sort of forego this bye. I'm going to really set up for the next two byes, especially the mini byes. I'm going to attack those. I had Lucas and I had Fletcher Sharp, captained Tarpanay, which wasn't great, but it's all right. Up from here. We'll be right.
Rob?
I went okay. I sabotaged myself nicely with a Friday night drinks with the boys and then come home, see Turbo's got the strapping off his knee, and I think, bang, I'm in. I don't like Iongi's bye schedule. I like Turbo's. I'll make that trade and I'll take the VC off Sharp and I'll stick it on Turbo. I'm all in. Every single part of that failed. Turbo scored less than Iongi. I used a boost to make the trade. Sharp scored 130. I ended up with the captaincy on AFB, who got bugger all. And then Turbo's out this week. Yeah, it was just like boom, boom, boom. But despite that, I still scored almost 1,000. I was quite happy.
Yeah. Oh, well, don't drink in Supercoach, I think's the lesson there.
No comment.
Trades this week.
We didn't hear from you. How'd you go, Dave?
How'd I go? I was probably middle of the pack, I think. I was hoping that I would have done better because I see those buys as, the big moving weeks where if you plan properly, you can make some big gains. Went all right, but there were a few people who just didn't perform, like, your Teddies and people like that. So I probably finished, with a relatively par score as opposed to, probably hitting the 1,000 plus that I was looking for. So, but that's been the story of my season so far. So, it's a new week.
Before we jump to trades, it's interesting, isn't it? The bye rounds used to be the moving rounds,
That's
right? But now that it's best 13, not 17, you don't have quite that range, I think. I don't think you get quite the jump on people if you super plan for it. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, you got, like I said, Lucas and Sharp obviously blew the field apart. If you had the VC on captain on them, you were jumping.
You're 100 points
big
automatically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas Teddy was probably captain, scored 50. I think Nico with 60 odd was
very
probably
popular
second captain. So there was it wasn't like a lavish sort of change in the rankings, but it just shows how quick it can change. So
I think it is still a big moving round depending on how you plan. Like, I think it's not so much about do you have the numbers, but it's the quality that you've managed to get in. Like, if you've got 13, that's great, but if it's just some guys filling holes just for the sake of it, then that's where it's not what it should be.
Well done to all of those who had Savala filling a hole and he scored 9.
The words out of my mouth. You probably had Savala down for sort of 30 odd points. You would have taken a 40 even, and then two tries after 2 minutes, identical, and then pumps out 90 odd. It's Christmas for some. So,
but obviously, State of Origin over as well. Not too many injuries out of that, thankfully, for people who held some of those players. But it is a mini buy this week. What kind of trades are you making to ensure your team's looking how it should?
I'm going to follow the masses. I think Kolomatangi obviously is a huge playing middle who's been extraordinary the last 2 weeks. Obviously one buy is out of the way as well. I think plays its next big buy as well, so he's a definite for me. And back off last week, last night, Zach Lomax just looked absolutely immense. He's taken 20 carries a game. He's got a target with the high ball with Mitchell Moses there. They'll score plenty of points. At 4% ownership as well, Zachy Lomax, so he's probably my second buy for the week.
I like it as a pod play. Yeah. I'm going Kolomatangi as well. The other one I'm getting is Ewan Aitken. I don't have the money to go to a Lomax, and I need a centre. Getting rid of Purdue. His role at 5/8 of just passing it on is just not going to work. The way I see Aitken is he'll play the next 5 weeks. He shouldn't lose any money. He might make a little money. And then when I sell him, he's got the handy 2RF centre wing duel. So that might it'll give me a bit more flexibility when I do move him out as to how I move him out. I don't love him, but I kind of like him.
He'll do a job.
Yeah, I think so. And Kalamatangi, I think, will play less minutes in the middle this week. Round 11, when he played I think he played 80. Kepi was a laid out, and Liam LeBlanc played like 15 minutes or something off the bench. I see Kepi playing 35 in the middle. So maybe Kaloa only plays 65 in the middle, but that's still more than enough with his work rate. Just quickly on Origin, the news is everyone should back up, all the main players. The only one was Tino, who's got a bit of a busted face, but he wants to play, so I assume he will. How about you? What are your trades, mate?
I'm up in the air. I've got enough players for this week without making any trades, so I'm toying with actually not making trades, but then next week I'll start moving on guys like Tamale, who he'll play this week, and then I can start looking towards the next big buy. I've still got Kiraz there, so between those two, that would give me quite a bit of bank to play with.
You've held Kiraz this long, surely you keep holding him, don't you?
Well,
you already gone through 2 with the weeks, you know? Yeah.
Well, that's what it's one of those ones where it's like everyone's going to want him back at some point. So do I just kind of wear that for now? But obviously I'll see how this week plays out and then make a call. But I am leaning towards no trades.
So here's a question: the centre wing. I mean, throwing Lomax, Carraz, who are going to be sort of big pods with everyone's jumping off Carraz. You got your Garricks, you got your Herbie Farnworths, Kale Ira's doing amazing things. This is a world where you can have sort of 7 and 3 reserves. You know, like Dylan Lucas, another one. There
is one person that always comes on the Tuesday Q&A. I think it's Vic, and he's got 7. He's got like the 7 best centre wings, and the rest of the team is pretty good. But I'm like, you got to sell one. Like you got enough one and beef up somewhere else. Because assuming you've got, say, 2 good fullbacks, 2 good halves.
Which is props as well this year.
Yeah, it's like you can only field 4 reserves. You're really just having a guy there that does no purpose for you. It's
crazy.
Who are you guys avoiding this week?
For myself, it's Hugo Zavala. We spoke to him before, 90 odd on the weekend, obviously. But, I mean, he scored in 20s not long ago. 16, I think, was his lowest score. And he's made 200k, so he missed the boat money-wise. Yeah, he pays the 2 next big buy rounds, but I just don't see it at all.
I think you've nailed it. Yeah, I think Zavala has a good base because he's got that. He makes 26 tackles, but outside of that, he can just score 26 like any young half, right? I think he's got something like 12 either try assists, tries or try contributions in the last 3 or 4 weeks, and that's great, but I don't think it continues. And even if it did, even if he averages 55, you're only making about 60k.
That's right.
And
the big kicker for me on SuperCoach, SuperCoach Plus, Samuel Walker's listed for round 13 to 15. So we're at round 13 now. So he could be back, after the bye, round 15. Sandon Smith doing a pretty good job. That's where it gets interesting, doesn't it?
Like
what happens in that regard? So
I think Sammy's more the kicker, Sandon's more the 6.
That's right.
Does Zavala get dropped? Yeah, it's tough.
Has there been much more on?
I haven't heard
coming
anything
because there was all that talk many weeks ago about, should the Roosters even bother bringing him back early and just leaving him till next year, give him every opportunity to get 100% right.
Seems weird if they're then going to buy DCE as well to not play Sam at all. It's like. Yeah, I mean, why would you put all the time into the kids if you're going to buy a guy to sit over the kids? I don't know. As a Roosters fan, I hate the DCE buy, and anyway, we'll chase up on Sam. It's a good point. Yeah. Ezra Mam is my no-go zone. Everyone's piling in after his huge 120 odd or 115 on his comeback game, but to me, just go and look at 2023. He was in the best form of his life. Was the Dalian 5/8 of the year. Took the team to the grand final, and he averaged 52. That's Ezra Mam. Ezra Mam's a 52 average. He's not going to keep going 100 plus. I think people are making a mistake there.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It was a sunny Suncorp day. It was a high scoring game. We don't get that every week. I think they're at Brookvale this week. Wait a week. If he comes to punch another 80 or 90 plus and you think that's the best way to go, just wait the week.
5/8 is a tough spot, but I still think it's a mistake.
Yeah. My no-go zone is not bringing in someone, but someone a lot of people are trading out, seeing a lot of people move on, Adam Fanua-Blake. I know you've got the bye this week. I know there were those pictures of him in a sling because he's nursing a bit of an AC joint aggravation. But, 3-round average of 82. They fully expect him to play next week. I just think he's been one of... I know there's, front row is a bit stacked this year from a gun perspective with your Taylor Mays, your Tinos, your Payne Haas's, but I just don't understand people trading him out now, because I feel like you're just going to want to get him back and you're burning the trade that you don't need to. He's,
He's not a base stat monster, right? He's not May, he's not Haas, who, makes 42 tackles and 28, points in runs. That's not him. He's got that upside. He'll have a quiet game every once in a while, and you ride that, I think, if you've got him.
Yeah.
I think the fact that the front row is so stacked that you do have cover. So why would you sell him? And you have to, like you said, you probably want to buy him back. So offload a Nafu White or a Corey Horsburgh who will get you 50,
has done
60.
their job.
That's right. Yeah. Definitely hang on to that one.
What's the move you're making that you probably shouldn't?
My guilt, as I've already addressed, is what I made. It's Tommy Turbo.
Oh,
That you trade him out, you say you'll never go back again. I keep coming back.
Mine's Jerome Hughes. I currently own the whole spine for the Storm. They got the Titans and they've got the Cowboys twice, Rabbitohs, Knights. It gives me the whole Storm spine, which could be good, but does the even spread of the points.
The week off will have helped with that shoulder as well.
Yeah.
I'd like it, yeah.
I do like it. 625k, so he's cheap. After round 15 bye, they're done with their buys as well. So for the run home, it's there. I just, like I said, the whole point of having the whole spine, I've got Harry Grant still hanging on to him. I've got Munster, I've got Pappenhausen, I've got Katoa. So there could be a couple of nice double whammies if, Hughes can put Katoa away or Pappenhausen away. A short ball off Grant, short ball off Munster, there's a lot there. So got to grab some kahunas and probably just do it.
Nice.
Yeah. Mine's Ryan Pappenhausen. I have not captained him every time he's gone big, and I have captained him when he hasn't. So I think I'm just going to keep the captain on him until he gets one. At least then I can say I've done it.
I think a decent rule of thumb is if the Storm lose a game, captain Pappenhausen the game after.
That's right.
They lost their last game. They're coming up against the Titans. I mean, I've got him as a VC this week.
Yeah, it works with the early game.
Yeah.
Welcome to this week's Best Bets, powered by Better. Guys, who have you got going into round 13?
I have never come up with a best bet, but I appreciate being put onto the segment. I've got a weird one. I didn't realise you could do this. So it's a same game multi, betting on how many points the players score. So
individually or collectively?
Individually. So the Panthers are playing the Eels, and neither team has defended particularly well this year, to be kind. So I've got Nathan Cleary to score 10 plus points, Zach Lomax to score 10 plus points, pays $5.80.
I love that bet. Yeah.
Joe?
I'm going to start with my rant backwards. I've walked in here being the rookie. I've done my hair, got my product, had a haircut, and you guys give me the bet hat. So
you're pulling it off.
Sponsors.
Pulling it off better than Tommy, though.
Yeah,
you do look much better than
as
Tom.
well.
I think it's salmon. I would have said, but it's very nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I've won a couple of try scorers. Christian Tuapoloto, Pappenhausen, Darby Staggs, Alex Johnson. So pretty good scorers. I think Staggs is the highest priced at $25.
Lovely.
Anytime try scorers.
Darby's team.
Lock it in.
He's we've all missed him.
Yeah.
He's every once in a while you just miss a wing that goes on a run. He's gone on a run.
He's on a run. Let's go.
Yeah.
I've done a same game multi as well, looking at the Storm and the Titans match. Similar to what you said, Storm lose a game and then obviously go big. I've done it off the back of the Origin stars, who obviously will be hurting after
redemption
last night. So I've gone Harry Grant and Cameron Munster to both score a try, and Melbourne to win. That's paying $12.
It's not bad. I mean, Harry Grant's right out of form, but if any team's going to run you into form, it could be the Titans.
Yep.
Yeah.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. All right, we've had some questions coming in over the week. So we've mentioned him already a little bit. Is Jerome Hughes a good alternative to Cleary?
I love it. I think words come out that Cleary won't go to New Zealand after the second Origin game. He's got to go from Perth to obviously New Zealand. So I think there's confirmation out there. every year during Hughes goes on that run where he just hundreds. I think it's probably the time, especially from Munster and Harry Grant don't back up after Origin, he'll step up. And just so much attack on that. I mean, Katoa was amazing. You got the aerial attack, targets and Xavier Coates, Warbrick if he's back. You got like the thing with these attacking teams, any sort of good ball, and you're going to try assist out of it. So I love what the Storm can do. And when they're at Amy Park, when they're coming off a loss, I'm all for it. It's my trade. 625k, you can't go wrong.
I think, Rob, you did an article last year about how Jerome Hughes, like the Origin period, is when he really lifts from a Supercoach perspective.
Did I? I've written so many bad words.
I feel like I remember this like that. Yeah, his average during the Origin period, historically,
goes up.
Goes up because obviously he's around and still.
That's where I got my vibe from the article.
If I wrote it, it's probably pretty good.
It's gospel.
Yeah. Every word's a gem. All 1,500 of them.
That's just the intro. I would say Hughes. The thing with Hughes, I think, is he's a good buy. I actually like him as a pairing with Cleary more than I like him as an alternative to Cleary. I just love that when Cleary's not playing, that Hughes can cover and so forth. Although Melbourne don't cover 15, so you don't get that. But I'd like to have both if I could. I've got Brown there as my second halfback at the moment, but I plan on finishing with Cleary Hughes.
I mean, there's always that flex option.
Brown could move back as well. He's got the duel as well. So.
Yeah.
I'll direct this one to you, Rob, because I know you're a fan. Is Beau Fermor a hold?
I'm a huge fan of Beau Fermor. He's got that weird running style. He looks like a centaur. He's got that weird sort of
upright.
Yeah, he's very upright, and then he's almost got a Teddy style shelf of a bum that sticks out down the back. And he sort of trots down like a little donkey running down the field when he's at full extension. I've watched him closely, as you can tell. I actually think he could be a sell. So, as we talked about, centre wing's really stacked. We now have a good idea of the centre wings that are going really well. Fermor, for me, was that safe centre wing you bought at the beginning of the year to carry you through till you had a better idea of where things were. His price is super high after those couple of hundreds. I just like the idea of cashing him in.
Yeah, and coming off, I think Ruben Cotter was pretty atrocious last night. I think he could be the left second row moving forward. So
it's crazy that you've got Fermor as the bench guy. He's that safe guy, not the impact guy.
Well, he's got everything,
Yeah.
Yep. Pod of the week. Rob, who are you going after?
Tui Pilotto, actually. 2.2% ownership. Started the year on fire. It feels dirty to recommend a Dragon because I'm a well-known Dragons hater. But I think, if you're looking for a pod centre wing who has a good history, a good work rate, and, he's on the right side or the left side, which is the right side, I think he could do worse.
Joe?
I got the same one.
Wow. Shocking.
See, this is why you guys need to talk before we come in.
We talk about everything else except for Supercoach. Our producer's dating life and stuff, but anyway. Go Frankie. If you take out the 32 against the Storm, he's averaging 100 to a Pilotto, and that was a rainy day at Cogra. So, and the best thing about the Dragons' left attack is they do some variations where Guther gets missed out or Guther goes at the back, hits the winger. But it's always to a Pilotto finish.
Either way, the ball ends up on the edge.
Yeah, so he gets the easy run to the try line. He's got the money-making pizzazz where he showed me the money.
Yeah.
He's a showman. I like it. I bought him after round 2. I had to sell him. And I'm not usually a guy that goes back to the world, but I just like it. One more buy in a mini-buy round 16, and they're done with their buys as well. So I don't think he's a top-notch, Herbie or Kale Iro, but he's a pod. And yeah, that's my, after Lomax, I think... That's my decision this week, to Pilotto or Lomax.
Yeah, but you spent 100 more on Lomax. He's got the goal kicking, I suppose.
Yeah, low break even for Pilotto, 30 odd still, because he scored 100 the last game. So,
okay.
Are we in? Are we on?
No, not for me. I just recommended. Yeah.
Okay. I'm jumping.
Yeah. I've got Kale Iro, who I'm not sure if he's quite a pod, but I feel like he suffers from the fact that he was so cheap last year and obviously performed really well. So he started this year at a premium, but he's as we saw last year, the base he puts out, he's just so safe to anchor your centre wing.
He scored every week. I think every single round he scored.
So whereas last year his base was really strong, but the tries weren't quite there.
Yeah.
And he did get a few towards the end of the season. but he has been scoring quite consistently this season. And but even if he doesn't score, you just know that you're still going to get 50, 60 out of him. And I think, if you're building your centre wing around someone like that, you can then take a chance with some of those more volatile players, because you've kind of got him as a set and forget. So he's someone I'm looking at because I think he's just a safe bet.
I got Herbie Farnworth and Cal Lowry in the same sort of bracket, and I haven't bought them because this try scoring run's going to stop, it's going to stop, and then within 15 minutes of a full time for the last 6-7 weeks,
Herbie barged
they've been
over.
scoring against the board. I was double winning. But for every week they've been, you think it's going to stop, it's going to stop. At 720, 740k, it's a lot of money to spend, but they keep getting it done. I think after this buy, I think most teams probably have both. So
Yep. Moving on to cheapies.
It's not a lot.
It's not an impressive list.
Not a bumper
I have
crop.
to say. Jordan Samrani.
Penasini back next week. He looked really good on the weekend. He was another one of those people that had him that were probably spending 30, 40. He scored, I think, 60 in the end.
Yep.
He was strong. He was powerful. Scored an amazing, unbelievable try with the hand over the back.
Sliding over with his, that was tremendous. Yeah.
But then I think like Savali, he's sort of missed the boat. He's made his 150k. Bench second rower. Yeah, I don't like it.
Agree. He becomes an AE nightmare a bit further down the line. Yeah, I don't
I
like
think
it,
for
but I
me-
like him.
Yeah.
I like the way he plays. Yeah.
If he jags a starting spot, then at 400k, it's worth it. But off the bench, I wouldn't go there.
Yeah. Kyle McCarthy's very popular this week.
He was good last week. But, Marzu's back soon. They've got to fit Ponga into that team.
Bradman Best.
Badman Best is a couple more weeks
Yeah.
at least, I think, at which point, that whole backline changes. So that's your issue. But that said, you could get him and, he could do a little job and then disappear for you and you've got a useful nuff. I mean, at some point we're going to want nuffs and, maybe he's not the worst.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, jumping 2 nuffs, how early's too early?
I went 3 weeks ago, so that's how early. I just decided I wanted one. I didn't have the money to get... I had enough money to get a gun and enough or 2 mids, and I didn't want mids anymore. Now we're about building our best team. So I went. I haven't been too disappointed, so yeah.
I think it's a great time, but someone like Fletcher Hunt will probably be enough, like you said, in a few weeks. But I think it's 250k, so not the bottom dollar. So you're sort of leaving 50k on the table there that you could use, which will always come in times you come to a trading at 10 or 5 or doing a 20k short. So I probably like a genuine enough, obviously a dual position enough. So and Ethan Roberts.
Ethan Roberts was my guy.
One of those guys that can do a job.
Well, talking of Fletcher Hunt, how do you see him as a cheapie then?
Yeah, good work rate. I think 20 odd tackles in the centres on the weekend. But like that 250k, it's only 50k extra. I don't like it. Bradman Best will be back soon. Moser comes back. Does then Lucas go to the centres and Thomas can jump in the second
don't say
row? Yeah, yuck, I know. But,
that'd hurt, yeah.
But,
I had Lucas as a sell at the beginning of last week.
yeah, well.
Because of him moving to the centres for 3 or 4 weeks, and thank God, he got named at second row. And I pivoted and kept him back in my team. And I'd gone out for I'd gone out for drinks. It was date night Friday night, and I'm subtly checking my phone. I'm like, woohoo! And Ross is like, SuperCoach.
Last one on our list is Harrison Hassett.
Nah, I mean, look, scored a try. The kid's got lots of potential. Really good coming through the age groups. But, the Panthers have players coming back from Origin. Then they've got his name always escapes me. The second rower who's been suspended, Sorensen.
Yeah.
I can never remember his name. He's got beautiful eyes, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good rig.
Yeah.
Good rig too.
So back on Harrison, who's, I'm sure is a good-looking guy too. No. Sorry.
How good was last round? All the debutants scoring tries in front of their families. Papalai, the Roosters.
And Joe Ash and
what's his name?
Joe Ash Parley?
No, the Roosters. Front row, second touch.
Via? Yeah, it's Va'a. Yeah.
That was outstanding. I think it was 4 debutants.
Steep breaks through.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's always good, especially when the family or if you've got all the friends with the shirts made up.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Grab SuperCoach Plus for $29.95. Get access to all of the great stats and articles associated with SuperCoach to supercharge your team. Or grab code $59 for the full year. Get all of the great NRL stories that our reporters are hunting down out in the field right now. Captains, I've had a shocker all season. Can't pick a captain to save my life. So who are you guys going to get? And then I'll probably just do that.
I'm going boring. VC Pappy, C Terrell May. As we talked about, Pappenhausen with the Storm bounce back after the loss. Titans aren't a great defensive team. I can see lots of points there. Terrell May, you look at the Tigers bench. There's no props or no real middles there. He's got a point to prove. Back to show he should be in Origin again. I'd say 70 minutes minimum is what we're going to see. Probably 75 in base. It's just easy.
Yeah. I'm with you, vice captain on Pappenhausen. No brainer if you own him. 3 o'clock Gold Coast game. If I want to get funky, probably Drinkwater in the second game. I'm going Terrell May. The thing with Terrell May, they got flogged by the Storm 60 points to whatever it was nil, and he pumped at 70 to win base.
Yeah.
So if that's your floor,
it's hard to go past.
It's a no-brainer.
Cleary against the Eels, you go, that could do it, but you just look at me.
That's right. Just take it.
Yeah.
And where's our man bags behind you for the show?
I love how he wore that onto the Matty John show. That was great. Yeah.
I reckon look for sponsorship.
Well,
I think Rob can pull it off. Hangover style. Come on.
It'd need to be really big.
Yeah. I've got VC Pappenhausen as well, and then but I've also toyed with Munster, possibly just off the back of the losses that he gets
Take the
involved.
goal kicker, Dave. Take the goal kicker.
Anyway, if I do Munster, then I'll probably just captain Teddy and just hope for the best. But that's where I'm at now.
Can we have the logins for your team? Just let us do the captain.
I was getting to that.
You are getting desperate at this point.
You can't do worse. You can't. I think I've had one captain over 100 the whole year.
Wow.
And it was a VC loophole, so it wasn't even the guy I picked for captain.
Right.
We were saying not fair. Like you had a bumper season last year.
Yeah.
It can make or break.
Yeah. Well, that's the difference.
You can $100 a week, 100 points, 200 points a week on the table with that.
I felt like I nailed the captain. I didn't have a bad captain last year, except for Ruben Garrick getting double HIA'd against the Dragons, who was your boy, Christian Chilpolotto, knocking him senseless. Thanks, Christian. That was, apart from that, it was 100 every week.
You could have won.
Yeah, but then you just would have had less money, more money that you didn't win.
True.
Yeah.
But that's been the big difference for me this year. Captains, I don't know, can't do it. So yeah, maybe you can pick for me. Couple more questions. Talked about the fact that Payne Haas will more than likely back up. The Broncos do need wins. Is he a sell, do you think, if he's going to be reduced minutes, and if they're going to nurse him through? How do you see that?
Front row stacked, but Payne Haas had one score under 80 all year, like one. I don't care if he rests and plays 42 minutes. I'll just sit him there and park him there, and then in the last 8 weeks I'll play him every single week and I'll love his 80 points. I don't understand the sell. No.
So if he is injured, you didn't see it last night because he was absolutely.
Well, the Blues said they didn't run him for 10 days and he comes out and man of the match.
I think it's no. I mean, he's got a good value, 100 plus K, so you can obviously go anywhere and use that money elsewhere. But you're going to want to buy him back anyway. And like you said, lower score once under 80. Don't do it to yourself.
Yep.
Kind of covered this one already, but any last thoughts on, is there value in Savala?
Nah, to me, no.
Let it go.
You've lost the money value. So
we're a proud bunch of super coaches. You can't go pay too much overs, I don't think.
Yeah.
No, let it go.
Final thoughts before we wrap up. Before we get to Rob's rant.
It's not rant, I'm just a bit annoyed.
Well, I'd just like to thank Harry Grant playing for the Blues last night. I thought he was one of the best players on the field for New South Wales. Hope he shows up for game 2 as well. We couldn't have done it without him.
Harsh.
I hope he shows up tomorrow.
Disagree?
I've still got him.
I can't speak to it because, as you know, I can't watch State of Origin games, right? I'm banned within the household by myself because it's too emotional. So tonight is pizza party night at Rob's house where we watch State of Origin, pretend it's all new. But we know that Rob can watch it safely. That's how bad I am.
You're a lunatic.
Any final thoughts from you, Joe?
I'm passing to you. I'm waiting to the start of the show for this.
This one, This one's a stuff you, right? It's a stuff you to the rugby league cognoscenti, right? The people who know rugby league look down their nose and crap on the SuperCoach fanatics, right? Like, oh, well, the fanatics wanted Terrell May to play because he's got big stats. They don't know anything. Look how well the Blues did. Laurie Daly knows what he's doing. And Laurie Daly picked a team and they won, and good, well done to them. But SuperCoach people do know rugby league. We watch every goddamn game, right? And we don't just watch our team, we watch all of it. So, yeah, Terrell May probably had a case for Origin, but SuperCoach people would tell you Terrell May didn't have a case for Origin. He was playing 75 minutes. He's not a 30-minute impact guy like Lenu. How do we know that? Because we watch every goddamn game. So just writing SuperCoach fanatics off as if we're like some, I don't know, basement-dwelling, stat-loving, 4chan reading like nerds, screw them. Thank you. Better now.
I mean, I've always thought you were as a basement dweller. You certainly have the complexion for it.
Well, once Mum lined the basement, I did spend more time in there, to be fair. But no.
Joe?
I think I'm a super coach. I'm an expert, as we call it, but we think we know our rugby league, as you said, Rob. I was one of many that got 0 from 5 last week in the tipping.
Oh, the tipping.
What's going on?
I might be an expert, but I can't tip to save my life.
Tell me about it, eh? I've got no idea. Anyway.
Were you trying to
I love it.
zig while everyone else zagged?
No, really. I was actually going with the pack. I thought,
If you were zigging while everyone else zagged, you'd tip all right this season.
I saw the better odds. So when I go with better, all the favourites, get nice 4 or 5 out of 5 on this shortened week. 0 from 5.
Well, hopefully this week's SuperCoach round
Exactly.
is a bit better than that.
Thanks, better.
Alrighty. Thanks to Rob. Thanks to Joe. And good luck to all the super coaches out there. Hope you manage to navigate the mini buy effectively.